Alright, hello. How are you people? Good? Super. Um, I'm sorry, you have to forgive me. I just made a whole tutorial and I found out that my microphone was unplugged. Actually, I hit the button and it messed up. So, it didn't finish encoding the video, and then I looked down and my microphone was unplugged, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So, I hope you're having a great day. I'm having a great day. Always having a great day. I'm going to show you a little bit more about curl, and about links, and about some other great stuff. So, I have links. Hopefully you have links too. I'm going to link to my 192.168.1.101. I have a local machine. Okay. And this is command line browsing. Okay. I have a thing here called packages. I actually downloaded a lot of packages I use and save. Well, what I did was I have a backup partition that I like to put all my backups on it, and I back up my programs too. So this is what I got. Okay, I just created a link to that backup, and we can use that kind of like as a iffy server. Alright, so we don't have to actually go find packages. Well, I don't have to go find them. You do. I don't. Alright, so I can just move along and show you what's going on. So these are all the packages here, and I have a ton more, but these are what I'm going to show. Let's say if I wanted to download, I do want to download CDR tools. Okay, it's got Make ISO in it. That's good. So I'll be building that. Not right now, but if I want to, say I press enter, okay, and if you look at the bottom here, you're going to see this little line here is going to change. I press enter, and it's going to say, like it says, hit D for download or C for cancel. Okay. It's case sensitive, so you have to say Shift D. Okay, and then that'll change again, and then it'll give you option to save to disk. Sure. Okay, and that's the file name at the bottom. You can change that to I really don't want to change it. But you can change it, blah blah blah. Okay, I don't want to change it though. And hit enter. Okay, now it's saving. It's gonna do its thing. Alright, so let's go back and get another one. Alright, CPIO. Okay, we're gonna say Shift D. Alright, because it's capital D. And now we say, do we want to save the disk? And that's the name we want. And now it's saving. Okay, so if we look now, we see that we have those two files. Actually, I was in the wrong directory when I did that. We have these two files here, so we downloaded. Okay, and let me move those two, say CDR tools. Actually, you know what, I'm going to erase these two, because I'm going to get them somewhere else again. CDR tools.tar, and we got CDR tools to patch. It's there. Okay, that's that. So that's how you download with links with the Y. Okay, with this links. Okay, I don't really like it because that bar is way too involved with a lot of things. Okay, and if you use it, you can use it. It's your preference. It doesn't matter. It's just, well, I'm in America. They say we're free, so you're a free person. You do what you want. All right, the world is yours. I'm going to CD into my root directory and start working. Okay, like I said, I really don't like links because all that goes to cookie checks and everything else, and it keeps it very interrupting. Okay, but I don't have links on here. Okay, so I have to use links. Now links has a great function. Links with a Y has a great function. It's called the dump function. Okay, so you can actually dump the source code out of your website. So you say 192.168.1.101. That's the website, or you could just say, you know, Google if you want to, or lfwww.lfs.org or something, or kernel. You can dump kernel.org. You get the idea, okay? But for me, I'm going to stay in the house, and I'm going to say 192.168.1.101. I want to dump it, okay? Now, if you look here, you can see that I have links. I don't have straight source code, okay, but I got these links here. I have addresses. What I have, I have one site called CRUD. I have another highway. Look here, mail, new site. You get it, okay? Well, I want packages, so I want to say links. Kind of use it to steer too. All right, links 192.168.1.101. Dump it out. All right. Now I can say / packages now. Packages. Bang. Okay. So now it dumped the subfolder from my website. Okay. Understand? Okay. So if I say dump packages, and let me tee it off, and I'll send it into pkg.list, right? Now I'm not doing actually links dump all the time now. I links dumped what I need already into a file called package.list. Okay, now all I had to do is just cat out the package.list, and it gives me everything I need. Okay. Now, if you have mouse support, you can probably scroll over top of this, and you can click and say, yeah, I want to download or whatever. I don't know how you want to do that. All right. But I don't have a mouse on my LFS machine. I only have a mouse here because I'm recording off of my Ubuntu desktop, and I'm gonna show you how to cut through this and get what you want. Okay. We can say cat packages dot whatever. Okay, and we can't just put this all into a file, or we can't just type this out and get this to actually expect us to download anything. We got stuff in the way. It's all crappy. 31 point. That's not going to work. All right, that's not how you do stuff. Okay, so cat that out. To bring commands back up to the front, remember, hit your up arrows and stuff like that. Okay, so we say cat packages.list. Pipe it into, you can say more if you want. Alright, actually I'm glad I did that. These are the links, the actual name. Okay, these are the actual name. These are aren't really the full address, but these are the name that's displayed on the website. Okay, so, and these are actually the full addresses to the name. Okay, so you got Apache Ant here, right? And I can scroll back up to the top here. Okay, that's what you see, but this is where you actually go. Okay, cat packages more. I don't need more, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And how about let me just grep out HTTP. How's that sound? Grep HTTP. I want to grab all the addresses on here, right? Okay, so that's that. Could pipe it into more. Okay, now we just have straight addresses, no real no names. We have addresses plus the names. You know what I'm saying? So we have all these links that work. Okay. Now with a little bit of cutting, I can say cut. What do I want to cut out? I'm going to cut characters. Cut characters 1 through 100, right? Nothing. Okay. Now let's cut characters. Let's call 6 through 100. That's better. Alright? It's starting to take a little bit more shape. Okay? So now we got that. Pipe it again. And say there's 10,000 files here. Okay? And I want to get CDR tools. I think CDR tools is in here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to say grep CDR, throw an I in for insensitive, okay, not sensitive to case. Alright, so how about if I think it's CDR tools, okay? So we'll do that. And we got some output at the bottom. Okay, and we see that even though we grepped the capital C, our CDR tools was a lowercase c. Okay, now let me go back through it, and I'll grep just CDR capital, how I think it should be spelled, and I get nothing. I got nothing because I did not use the I switch. Okay, cool. Like I said before too, I can also grep all 10 after CDR. Actually, let me put in an I and all 10 after indiscriminate CDR. Okay, so that's a little tangent there, but I get CDR tools. Okay, now these are two addresses I have here, right? So if I want to download this, and which I am going to download it right now, but say if I wanted to download it, that's how I would do it, with links dump. Okay, because I already links dumped into a package.list. So I can say grep CDR tools. Now these are the two files I want to get, and I say while read line, I'm going to say do echo, encapsulate your stuff in something. Okay, echo $line, and I can say done, and put the output into CDR list, CDR.list. Okay, now if I list it out, I see I have a CDR.list, cat out CDR.list, and I just got straight links. Okay, because I did all my cutting and I moved them all to a file where I could actually work on them and everything else like that. Okay, super. Now if I wanted to, I could also say wget, actually no, I can say something like cat CDR.list while read line, we're going to say do wget $line. Done. I want to download those two files. Enter. And you see that just happened. Okay? You can see I got my CDR tools are here now. It's great. Okay? So that's how you can use wget. Besides what the book already taught you. You know what I mean? Okay? And I'm going to make a directory because I want make ISO. Even though I can't burn anything because my CD-ROM drive is not working right. Hardware, it's not really hardware, it's, I think it's a script or something that's wrong. That's what I did wrong. So move all into save. Okay, cool. Alright. Now, also, I'm going to touch on curl a little deeper. And so, we're going to say curl 192.168.1.101. That's my website. Okay? Tons of source code, right? But if you remember, well, we didn't have links. We didn't have a browser. The only thing we had was curl and wget. You know, so you're kind of starting from nothing. You have to build your stuff. So you got to start somewhere, right? So I'm going to drink some coffee real quick. Good old natty coffee. Okay. You have curl, and you just curl out the source code. Well, you know, this is browsing in 1980, right? You know. But even though we only have these crude tools, we can still implement them the best way that we can. Alright, to even get better tools, okay? So I'm going to curl this out into source. Let's call source. Source.list. Source.list, right? Okay? You kind of don't want to keep calling source every time. Don't want to keep calling curl every time, alright? It's just like a waste of resources, really. Okay? List it out. I got a source.list. Let me cat out source.list. Alright? And as you can see here, you got a whole bunch of stuff, HTML tags everywhere, right? Cut through it. Grep through it. We just want to grep out. Don't really need an I because it's going to be lowercase HTTP. Okay? HTTP. There's no HTTP? That's kind of impossible. Is it? I don't know. Let me look. href. Man. Oh, highway. Okay. It should say curl 192.168.1.101, right? Yeah. Okay. href. Let's grep href. Href just shows links. Okay. Href, or it just shows if there's links there. I don't really. If you were doing something else, you'd probably get HTTP, but href. I'm not, because this is internal. So I got output. Okay, let me clear. Grab href. Okay. Cool. Actually, I can just grab href right out of my source list too. Let's say cat source list. And while we cat it, we want to grep out href, because it's just the same file. So now I got all these hrefs here. Okay, cool. So now I see that I have, back it up, do it again. It just got uglier. Now if you look here, you'll see that there's an h reference to packages, right? You can see it right here. Okay, because it got href for, so it isolated href, and it has a folder called packages. Okay, subdirectory. All right. So all you have to do really is you can say curl and append the packages directory that you found underneath of that packages. Okay. And what I'll do is, instead of reading it from a source file, I'll just read it from here. Okay. You try not to do it for keep flipping curl for resources, but it makes it a little easier to see right now. Okay. So if I grep out curl, or if I do curl, and I append that packages folder that I found to the back end of it, okay, I'll find out that now I'm in another directory. Alright, I'm in another area of the site. So that's cool. So this is how you're browsing. Okay, and you see also here that this is this href, which is a link to an address. Okay, so now that I got that, I'm actually going to stop and tee this off and say, let's make it pack.list. Okay, so now I'm pretty much as far as I want to go, and I really don't need curl anymore, so I can kind of stop using it, and it's just into a source code file, or into a list. Okay, remove sources. Okay, so now if I need to do any more work, and which I do, I can just cat out a list. Okay, so I got it, it's mine. Alright, so now I want to cut through this and figure out what I want to do with curl here and get my packages. I'm going to say cat pack.list, and I want to use cut with a delimiter of, let's say cut with a delimiter of equals, right? Cut with a delimiter equal sign, and field 1, field 2. Okay, and just cuts the heck out of it. Alright, and just chop the heck out of our file. Nothing really stuck, alright, because we're still in we're just observing. Okay, but it's starting to look a little better for us now, because we have to isolate this directory structure. Okay, so I want to say that. Okay, so now it's looking a lot better. Let me cut out, also we can say cut with a delimiter of quotes and field 1, right? Oh, field 2. Alright, alright, great. if you look here, the whole thing is it's pretty much isolated. Okay, we can work with this. We can really work with this. Okay, so I can save this into a we'll call it temp.list, right? Save that into there. We can cat out, let's say temp.list. Okay, now we have our isolated directories. Okay, and now I'm going to just say something like, what was pack.list? Pack.list? Cat pack.list. Okay, we can actually get rid of pack.list. We don't need pack.list anymore. We can get rid of it. Remove file pack.list. Okay, so cat temp again. Keycat. Keycat. You know, like the kitty cat. Alright, we see we have the subfolders. Okay, now I remembered that we can say 192, or we don't really need curl anymore because we have all the source code. But we do remember the name of the website. So if it was lfs.org, you would type in lfs.org here. The 168.1.101. Okay, and I do remember one of the subfolders was packages. Okay, and then this is our line here. Okay, so instead of typing out this whole line, we'll just you know, read it and use that. Okay, so cat temp.list. Okay, and we'll pipe it and we'll say something like while read line. We're going to echo out. Echo the higher folders that we remember. And my address is 192.168.1.101. We'll let that represent like lfs.org or something. Okay. And then we do remember that there was a subdirectory called packages. So maybe it was lfs.org blfs, right? Okay. And there was a / involved. And then we'll just say $line. And we'll say done. Okay? Cool. Looks good. Alright, don't mind this dribble at the bottom. We can cut that off. That's nothing. Okay? We can actually... What do I want to... I can cut out. I don't want to cut anything. It doesn't really matter with the bottom there. We can take this and put it into another file, and we'll call this complete list. List. Okay, so now it's isolated. Took two files, combine them. Cat complete list, and there you go. Okay. You can even do something silly like say vi complete list. Okay. How come my vi don't have no color? Alright, and you can, if you wanted to, you could delete out these 3 lines that don't make any sense. Okay. There were the HTML tags left over, and you can get rid of these HTML tags if you want. Alright, it doesn't matter, or you could just go back there and cut it up properly and get rid of it. Okay, so now I have complete lists, and that's what I want. Since I'm in vi, right quit. Okay, and let's say cat complete list. That's all done, and I want to wget everything. Wget, or we'll say while read line do. We're going to say wget $sign line. Done. Okay. There you go. I'm not going to download all these packages, but that's how you would do it with curl as far as the command line pre-browser, right? Just by using curl. Okay. So that's what I wanted to accomplish in the last one, or wanted to clarify from the last one, and I hope you understand. Okay. I'm going to move save back up. that's what you can do. Let me move save back down. Move save, which is up. Move it here. Okay. I don't know if I told you before about the dot. The dot means here. Okay. LA, LS, list attributes. Dot save. Or no, I'm doing it wrong. LS dash LASH. The dot is save, or the dot is here, present working directory, or the dot can also hide files. Okay. If I made a file, I call it say echo hide into this file dot file, right? I have this file. I can now hide this file by saying move this file dot file to this file dot file dot. Okay. Now you don't see it, and it's because it's hidden. Okay. There it is. Alright. You can just remove that file by saying remove dot this file. Okay. Or can you say dot list dot? You can do that too. Okay. List dot with a tab, bang bang, and you can bring up everything that's hidden. You see here you have your SSH with your known host files, and your authentication stuff is in here. It's hidden. It doesn't need to be in the way. All right, your Vim info and your bash history. Okay. Actually, I can cat that out. Cat dot bash history. And we'll say more. Okay. And this is all our history. All right. Actually, I think you can bash history it. Can I say history? I can just call history, right? Yeah. Actually, this is a little bit better because it's got numbers. Okay. I'll give you a quick shot on this one too. If you say history, and you can say exclamation point. Let me see something I can. Okay, exclamation point 11:30. It'll do that command. Okay. Let me do it again. We'll say history. Okay, which is a global program. And you look at the number. For instance, here, this what I typed on my history number of 1138. I typed list attributes. Okay. Let me go up and make it a little bit more better. I didn't do nothing but just remove a whole bunch of crap. We'll say 1080. Okay. Say I want to run curl again. I just want to run that again, and that is the command was at number 1080. Okay. So if I say bang 1080, it's gonna run that command again. Okay. So that's pretty cool. You can find it with history. Okay. And then after you find it with history, just bang it 1080. Okay. Cool. So you don't really need to curl and say all that again. You just bang it through your history if you wanted to. All right. History, like I said, is it global? It is global. Okay. Dot history is only specific to this area. I think list. No, bash underscore history is specific to this area, or is it? Let's go up in here, and we'll say ls dot. Let's try to call bash history out here. Bash, yeah. It's there's a difference between global and local, right? Root. If I cd into root, okay. And I LSLASH, which is list all, size, human readable. Okay. Bash history is local, so I have to be within the root folder to actually call it, right, or utilize it. Okay, but I'm gonna cd out and go into mount. History is not local, it's global. Okay, so which means that you can call it from anywhere. Let me go into home. Go into a home directory, right? And let me call history now. Okay, local and global. Bash history is local, so obviously if I can't call bash history from inside of a home folder. Okay, it's not here. All right. However, history is global. It's everywhere. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because even though I've been talking about SSH and scopy and everything else like that, I've never showed you how to set up the server. And I'm sorry, you're probably cussing me. SSHD, and now SSH file. Let's see, file. Okay. I've been, copying stuff and SSHing all over the place. I showed you how to set up your SSHD config by copying a config file from your other Linux machine and using it as a template. You know what I'm saying? And all that good stuff, but I never showed you how to set it up. Now, normally when you download a program, say from a repository on a Linux machine or whatever like that, it goes through some preventative checks, and it'll ask you if you want to run it at boot or not. Okay. Well, because we compiled all our stuff and got it from straight out of nowhere, we don't have all those good options. We have to implement everything. Okay, so if you don't have SSH running at boot, your server anyway, you're never going to be able to scopy or receive any SSH connections. You can go into other machines, but you will not be able to have other machines come into you. Okay, so that would kind of suck. And with other machines, we have there's paths, right? Example, for Ubuntu, you would go into etc init.d, right? And you would say something like SSH start. Okay. Now, if you didn't have it set at boot, that's the path that you would enter in to make your SSH server live. Okay. Well, we don't have that option because our init.d folder is not underneath the etc. It's actually under rc.d, and then it's init.d. Okay, so the boot programs run from here. Okay, and we'll look in there, and we're looking through everything, and we see we got upstart jobs, cleans fs, halt I guess stays in the loop, so in case we ever type halt, it shuts down our computer, functions, modules, all that stuff. Our network pops up when we boot up our computer. Reboot stays in the loop and waits for us to type in reboot so it can reboot. Syslog, so where's SSH? And how the heck are we going to start this thing? How are we going to use SSH? Alright, well, first, since it doesn't start at boot, and it doesn't, we can't really call it from anywhere, it's not a global variable, what are we going to do? Actually, okay, so we type in SSH and we hit tab, and I say, oh, I see SSHD. Alright, cool. Let's see if it works. It doesn't work. Alright, so even though we got a global, I say a global pointer, it's not really tied into where we think it is. Okay, it says re-execute requires execution with the absolute path, and that's what you have to do to start up your SSH server. You say user. The absolute path is bin, and it's SSHD. Is it SSHD? No, it's not user bin SSHD. User S bin SSHD. Okay? Type it in. Nothing. but it works. It works. Trust me, it works. So we can't instat anything, because guess what? We don't have instat. Oh my god. Are you serious? We don't have ifconfig either. We'll build that in the next couple tutorials. Alright? That's how you would execute your SSH server. Because it's not running at boot. And you have, it's not in init script, because we have to build it. We have to build the init script to actually accept our SSH server. To start it at boot, so it's not running. It's not running. We can say etc rc.d init.d. Okay. We could do something like maybe like put a link in here, right? And what I did was I did that, and what happened was it just got all screwed up, right? Because you remember when we built it, we have 6 different run levels here, okay? And for instance, I'll say cd into rc.1, okay? You got 6 different run levels. Katakati network out. 6 different run levels. And all this stuff here, you go in here and start adding stuff where you shouldn't. And I really don't know what's going on in here, but I do know it's working. And I do know that if I put SSH, it just come in here and say, okay, I'm going to type in SSH start, SSHD start at the bottom. Guess what? It's not going to work. SSH is not going to work. And whatever this device, whatever this file is calling, is not going to work. So that's not the way to do it. Okay? But the way to do it is back to global variables. We'll say user sbin sshd. That's how you do it. But it requires an absolute path. And it's not like other computers or other operating systems. You require absolute path also, but you can specify a function or a something. Okay, it's like start. Well, with this it says extra argument start. Well, that's a problem. Okay. How about restart, right? And extra argument. Okay, so the extra argument is saying that when you click this, all it's doing is starting. It doesn't matter. It's just restarting. If it's already started, it starts over. Okay. Can you stop it? No. Okay. So, in order for us to actually use this, we're going to make this a global variable. It's actually is already a global variable, because if we type in SSH tab, it shows our globals. Hit enter, but it's telling us now to point us back to we need the absolute path. I don't want an absolute path. I don't want to have to type in SSH user sbin all the time when I want to start my SSH server. I'd rather have it at boot, but I can't do that right now. So we'll figure it out. What we're going to do is we're going to go to this directory. Okay? Go to this directory, list it out. Ton of stuff in here. Is it in here? It is in here. Ton of stuff in here. Okay? And whatever I put in here is not really going to be, it's global, but I'll show you what's more global. User bin. That's more global. Okay? And sbin user bin, I can put this in here as a global. That's a made-up word. Okay, so basically, instead of typing out the full path all the time, I'm going to make a directory inside of user bin. Okay, I'm going to call the directory port me. Okay, now I'm going to cd into that directory. Okay, I made it inside of the inside of here, inside of user bin directory. Okay, the reason why I made an isolated directory is I really don't want to go screwing around with stuff in here. That's not gonna, you know, if I screw something up, I don't want to have to delete my whole bin folder. That's not going to happen, because we're gonna have a bad time. Okay, So I make a directory inside of the user bin directory, and now all I'm going to do is make a little script. Okay, I'm going to call it sshd underscore start. That way, if there's ever a program or something else that comes around, and maybe it's a program you download to SSH start, okay, when you go to download that and you install it and you go to call it, it's going to crash because there's two names, okay? Or it might just run, it might save yourself. Put, make it identifiable, okay, in case you ever got to delete it or something else, okay? So I'm just going to make a small script, and I'm going to say bing bang bin bash. I'm just going to make it say user sbin, or no, user bin ssh sshd. I think that's it. It's not it. We have to remember the full path. Remember the full path, which is SSH. It's not user bin, it's user sbin. User sbin SSHD, okay? So remember that full path, and I want to cat into a new file called sshd underscore. I'm going to say starter, okay? And I'll show you in a second why, because I screwed up on a tutorial and I already named one start and I didn't delete the link all the way. I say bin bash, okay, and we want to make it say user, I think it's sbin sshd. That starts it, okay? And now EOF for end of file, list it. It's not executable, we're going to make it executable, so we'll say change mod +x ssh starter, okay? And let's see if it runs. Bash ssh starter. It did ran, it paused, got no output. Is it running? We don't know. We can find out, don't worry. We'll say vi starter. Let's give it a little output. Let's make it say something to us, like echo sshd started, or let's say is running. SSHD is running. ... homie. Alright. SSHD is running, homie. Okay? We'll do that. And let's say right quit on vi. Okay? And we'll say SSH SSHD underscore. Ugh. My God. SSHD underscore starter. Starter. Command not found. Why? Oh, bash SSHD starter. SSHD is running, homie. There you go. Okay. So we just scripted a file, but we don't want to execute that file all the time, and it's not global. Okay. But we come out here to the root folder and we say sshd tab nothing, okay, starter nothing. You know what happened, because you didn't make it global. Okay, now way to make it global, we're gonna go back to where our script's at. Okay, sshd starter, link this with an absolute path name of user bin port me ssh. It's got to have an absolute path. Link it to the user user bin. Okay. Yeah, user bin folder. There you go. Okay. So now wherever you go, at root, let me cd into mount, right? The script is, is not here. Okay. And I'm just going to type in SSH underscore dstarter. Bang. Okay. That's a global variable. And so now you know that your SSHD is running from anywhere else you want to have it, and it has a nice little indicator there for you. And that's how you do that. User bin port me. Okay, I would suggest that you create a separate directory to put all your quote homemade apps in. Okay. Another one is if you say ls. You don't really have too many options here. If you come from a newer machine, you got a ton of stuff. You got ls hardware, no. Okay, you got ls USB, no. Okay, you got ls CD-ROM, no. Okay, you only have like 3 different ls commands over here because we got for one, we have a bash that's like a whole point under. Okay, and 2, we built our system. All right, so quote, there's no point in you griping because you didn't build your ls CD-ROM, ls USB, or ls hardware. Okay, build it. You want it, build it. And let's build one right now. For instance, I like the ls CPU. I don't have it here. That sucks. Because I like to look at my CPU. But I will tell you where it lives. It lives under proc. Okay? And if we say cat CPU info, okay, we have the cat this file, it'll give us a whole printout of our CPU information. Alright? Now on Ubuntu, that's all that this pretty much does. It cuts it up and makes it look a little different. But this is all you really need. Okay? So I'm gonna make that. I'm going to go back into my global folder, user bin, my port me folder, and I'm going to script it out. I'm going to say vi, I'm going to make ls cpu. Don't do that. Okay? If you do that, if you upgrade your bash or anything else like that where it actually does make an ls cpu, okay, that is supposed to be there from bash, you're gonna run into some problems. So give it like a identifier, okay, underscore ls CPU or something like that. Okay, don't put a space because that's just creating a ton of problems. Right? The computer doesn't read a space. The computer reads like a backslash. Okay, and a space. So you don't want to do that. It looks ugly and it's prone to conflict. Okay, vi ls CPU and I for insert, colon pound, bin, or what do you call it? Bada bang. Bin bash. Shebang. Yeah, shebang, you see. Bin bash, okay? Now basically what we want to do is we want to cat proc CPU info. That's all that list CPU does, okay? And let's see how that works. List it out. We see we got it. We need to first change mod, make it executable, or it's never going to run from anywhere. Okay, change mod, executable, ls CPU. Okay, that's cool. It works here. Bash ls CPU. Of course it works here because we're right next to it. Well, like I said again, if we're not in the folder, it works here because I already made it global in the last tutorial. Alright, let me prove it to you. It doesn't work here. Actually, it should work here. But it doesn't work here. And I wish I would have deleted that so you would not see my sin. Bin, let's say port me. Bin, port me. LSCPU to LSCPU info, right? Yeah, list CPU info. Okay. Missing destination. Move LS CPU to LS CPU info. That way we can kind of identify. Alright, that's our new program name. Does the same thing, okay? Just want to test and see if it's global or not, right? So come back up to root, and we're going to type in ls, nothing. ls underscore, nothing. You know, what's going on? How come we can't, you know, can we just say, this is brute strength, ls CPU info, nothing, command not found, okay? Because you didn't make it global. That's all. Alright. You made it executable, but that still means you gotta go back into the folder. Now if you say link it, you gotta link with the absolute path user bin port me, okay, ls CPU info. You wanna link that to the user bin folder. That's it. Okay? So now, even though you're at root, or, you know, let's just go in the dev folder, right? Even though you're in the dev folder with all this crap going on around you, if you want to figure out your CPU info, ls, tab, you got ls CPU info. That's how you do it. Okay? So, since you don't have a system, you know, well, you do have a system, but you have a very minimal system, and it's not anything like you're ever used to working on before, right? You could find yourself getting a little frustrated that you don't have the same commands or anything else like that, and that's okay. The only thing you gotta do is build them. You know, just build them, implement them, know how to implement them. That's what this whole thing's about, is a learning process on how to do certain things. Alright, so that's all for right now. Thanks for listening to me yap. I hope you got something out of it, and if you didn't, that's okay. But this is just what I'm finding out about the LFS system. Right? So keep using, not drugs, keep using Linux. I'll see you later.